Telephone rang about 8:15.
Some songs break your heart because of what they say. Others break it because you suddenly realize the singer was carrying something much heavier than the words. And at number 1,
She heard his voice on the other end of the line.
a song that began as a tribute to a fallen friend became one of country music's most haunting farewell songs.
Never knew
Welcome to Saddle Sound,
like him, it could be anything. She
where we bring the stories behind classic country and soul music back to life, one unforgettable song at a time. Number 10, Tracy Byrd, The Keeper of the Stars, 1995. Some love songs sound like promises. This one sounds like destiny. Tracy Byrd's The Keeper of the Stars arrived in 1995, and at first, nobody at MCA Records seemed to think it was the song that would define the moment. It was actually not planned as a single. But something happened when Byrd performed it live. People reacted. They remembered it. They asked for it again. That was enough to change the label's mind. The song tells the story of two people who somehow found each other, with the narrator wondering if some higher power had arranged the entire meeting. But here's what most people don't know. Byrd actually re-recorded the song in a lower key because he believed he sang it better that way. That lower key version became the radio recording and the version used in the music video. The song climbed to number 2 on the country chart and later won the Academy of Country Music's Song of the Year award. But its real life happened away from the charts. It became a wedding song, a first dance song, a song people played when they wanted to tell someone, without complicated words, I believe we were meant to find each other. And maybe that is why it still feels so personal. Because sometimes the greatest love story isn't about how two people met. It is about believing there was a reason they did. And the next song took that idea of love and turned it into something much quieter, much sadder. Number 9, Alison Krauss, When You Say Nothing at All, 1995. Most people remember the softness of Alison Krauss's voice. What they sometimes forget is why this recording existed in the first place. Krauss and Union Station recorded When You Say Nothing at All for a 1994 tribute album honoring Keith Whitley, the country star whose life ended far too soon. Their version was never supposed to become one of the biggest songs of Krauss's early career. Then radio discovered it. Stations began playing the song without waiting for a major promotional campaign. The label noticed. Listeners noticed. Suddenly, this bluegrass singer who had never really had a major country hit was climbing the charts. Krauss herself was reportedly surprised by the whole thing. Her reaction was essentially disbelief. They hadn't expected the record to chart at all. And that is the beautiful twist. A song connected to Whitley's memory became a breakthrough for another artist. Krauss's version reached number 3 on the Billboard country chart and won the CMA Award for Single of the Year. But there was another strange chapter. A Milwaukee radio producer created an unofficial version that blended Krauss's recording with Whitley's original, creating what sounded like a duet between two singers who never got the chance to record together. It spread across the country. Even though it was never officially released. That is almost poetic. Whitley was gone. Krauss was rising. And somehow, Through a song about communication without words, their voices seem to meet. But the next story is about a song that almost never happened at all. Number 8. Deanna Carter, Strawberry Wine, 1996. It sounds like summer. A farm, a young girl, first love, a memory that feels sweet until you realize it is already gone.
And I was thirsting for none.
Strawberry Wine was Deanna Carter's debut single in 1996, but the road to that recording was anything but easy.
Between a woman and a child.
Songwriter Matraka Berg wrote it with Gary Harrison in less than 4 hours. The story came partly from Berg's own teenage memories of summers at her grandparents' dairy farm in Wisconsin. But Nashville nearly rejected the song. It was considered too long, too unusual, too controversial. Some people thought the subject matter was too risky for country radio. Even artists such as Trisha Yearwood passed on it. And here's the part that still feels like fate. Berg had originally hoped to record the song herself, but after her record label dropped her, she began shopping it around. Carter eventually heard the song at a publisher showcase where she was the only artist who showed up. She took it. The song became a #1 country hit,
Is it really him?
and Carter's signature recording. But its real power wasn't the chart position. It was the way the song understood that first love doesn't have to last forever to matter. Sometimes we grow up, return to the place where everything happened, and discover that the place has changed. So have we. That is what makes Strawberry Wine more than nostalgia. It is the sound of realizing that you can never go back. And number 7 takes that feeling of loss and puts it on a lonely highway. Number 7. George Strait, I Can Still Make Cheyenne, 1996.
Her telephone rang about 9:15.
George Strait didn't need to shout to break your heart. He only needed a telephone call. I Can Still Make Cheyenne tells the story of a rodeo cowboy calling home,
Never knew what
expecting to reconnect with the woman he loves. Instead, he discovers she has finally reached her limit. She has found someone else. And the most painful part is his response. He doesn't beg. He doesn't explode. He simply decides he can still make it to Cheyenne.
and I'm coming home.
The song was written by Aaron Barker and George Strait's own manager, Irv Woolsey. Woolsey had the original idea about a rodeo cowboy
Two-rider call. And I know
whose career had slowly destroyed his relationship. The song became a #1 country hit and one of Strait's most admired story songs. But listen to that final emotional turn. The cowboy has just lost his home,
get here, I'll be long gone. There's
and somehow, the rodeo is still waiting for him. That is the tragedy. He doesn't know how to stop being the man who caused the loss.
He said, I'm sorry it's come down to this.
So he goes back to the road. Sometimes people don't lose love because they stopped caring. Sometimes they lose it because they waited too long to change. And the next song goes even deeper, because the person begging for mercy isn't losing a relationship. He's losing someone he cannot live without. Number 6. Tim McGraw, Don't Take the Girl, 1994. The first time you hear this song, it sounds like a simple story about a boy and a girl. Then the story keeps changing. A young boy doesn't want the girl taken away when his father takes him fishing. Years later, the boy is grown. A robber threatens his girlfriend. Again, he begs, don't take the girl. Then comes the final twist. They are married. They are expecting a child. And now the girl is dying. The boy who once wanted to protect his girlfriend from a stranger is now on his knees, asking God to take his own life instead. That progression is what made the song so devastating. Written by Craig Martin and Larry W. Johnson, Don't Take the Girl became Tim McGraw's first #1 country hit and even crossed into the Billboard Hot 100. But the hidden genius is in the repetition.
10 years down the road.
The meaning of the same plea changes every time we hear it. At first, it sounds childish, then romantic,
Stranger.
then desperate. By the end, it sounds like surrender. That wasn't just a country hit.
Said if you do what.
It was a 4-minute lesson in how much a person can love someone before fear becomes unbearable. And if you're still here, you're exactly why Saddle Sounds exists.
My wallet. Take my credit.
We dig past the familiar chorus and bring back the stories, the forgotten details, and the human emotions that made this music matter. If this kind of storytelling means something to you, subscribe and stay with us. Because the next 5 songs are where the 1990s really start hurting. Number 5. Martina McBride, Independence Day, 1994.
Well, she seemed alright by dawn's early light.
It was called Independence Day, but this wasn't really a patriotic song. It was about a woman trapped inside an abusive home,
The daddy left the proof on the cheek.
and a daughter watching everything unfold. Gretchen Peters wrote the song around 1992, and Martina McBride recorded it for her 1993 album,
Self down to the fair intent.
The Way That I Am. When it was released as a single in 1994, it became one of McBride's defining songs. The cleverness was in the symbolism.
Oh, small town. They said he was a dangerous man.
Independence wasn't about a nation. It was about one woman finally becoming free. The song was dark for country radio, but McBride didn't soften it.
Some folks talk, but everybody looked the other.
She sang it with the kind of conviction that made the story impossible to ignore. It eventually won the CMA Award for Song of the Year.
Let freedom ring.
But here's what most people remember. Not the award, not the chart, the feeling. A daughter looking back at the moment her family changed forever.
It's the day of a record.
Independence Day wasn't comfortable. It wasn't supposed to be. Sometimes music becomes powerful precisely because it refuses to make pain beautiful.
All that's gone away, guilty path.
And the next song is almost the opposite. No violence. No betrayal. Just a terrifying question. What happens when the person you love disappeared? Number 4. Trisha Yearwood, How Do I Live, 1997.
This next song is kind of a...
Few songs in the 1990s had a stranger journey. How Do I Live was written for the movie Con Air. Leanne Rimes recorded a version.
You know, this really cool, violent Nicolas Cage crashing in...
Trisha Yearwood recorded another. And suddenly, the industry had 2 competing versions of the same emotional song. Rimes' version became a massive pop success, spending a remarkable 69 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100 and reaching number 2. Yearwood's version became the stronger country radio performer, reaching number 2 on the country chart. But here's the part that still doesn't sit right. Yearwood's label reportedly limited the physical release because it didn't want the single competing with album sales. The initial pressing sold out quickly, and the song's pop momentum suffered. Imagine having a song this powerful and watching another version become the one most of the world remembers. Yet Yearwood's recording carried something different.
Live without you.
sounded less like a teenager asking a question and more like an adult confronting the possibility of losing the person who makes life feel normal. How do I live without you? That's not a lyric. That's panic. And the next song doesn't ask how to survive without someone. It simply asks you to breathe while they're still there. Number 3. Faith Hill, Breathe, 1999.
Magic floating in the air.
The 1990s were ending. Country music was changing. Pop was changing. And Faith Hill walked straight through the middle of that transition.
I watch the sunlight dance across your...
With a song that barely sounded like traditional country at all. Breathe arrived in 1999 and became one of the defining crossover ballads of the era. It spent 6 weeks at number 1 on the country chart and 17 weeks at number 1 on the adult contemporary chart. It eventually became Billboard's number 1 song of 2000, despite never reaching number 1 on the weekly Hot 100. That's one of the strangest facts about the song. It was the biggest song of the year without ever actually topping the weekly Hot 100. But the numbers don't explain why people connected with it. The song wasn't about a dramatic break. It was about closeness. That quiet moment when everything outside the room disappears and the person beside you becomes your entire world. Faith Hill understood something important. Sometimes the strongest love songs don't need tragedy. They simply remind you that ordinary intimacy can be extraordinary. And yet, for all its success, the next song went somewhere darker. A lonely bar. A broken heart. And a neon sign that became a symbol for an entire generation. Number 2. Brooks and Dunn, Neon Moon, 1992. Some songs don't sound like heartbreak. They sound like the place heartbreak goes to hide. Neon Moon was written by Ronnie Dunn.
Y'all help me sing this too when we get going.
And released by Brooks and Dunn in 1992. It became their 3rd consecutive number 1 country single. The story is brutally simple. Someone is gone. The narrator is alone. And every night, he returns to the same bar underneath the same neon light, trying to drink away what cannot be fixed. But here's the strange part. The song was the first Brooks and Dunn single that didn't receive an accompanying music video. It didn't need one. The listener could see the bar, the empty stool, the late-night lights, the man staring into his drink. That is the power of great country songwriting. It doesn't tell you everything. It gives you enough to remember your own version. And Neon Moon became much bigger than a breakup song. It became an anthem for anyone who had ever sat somewhere late at night pretending they were fine. The world outside kept moving. Inside that bar, time had stopped. But number 1 is different, because the man singing it wasn't simply remembering someone he lost. He was mourning a friend. And he was finishing a song he had been unable to finish for years. Number 1. Vince Gill, Go Rest High on That Mountain, 1995. Some country songs are about heartbreak. Some are about death. And then there are songs that somehow make grief sound almost sacred. Vince Gill began writing Go Rest High on That Mountain after the death of country singer Keith Whitley in 1989. But he couldn't finish it.
The song's brought an awful lot of peace to an awful lot of people over the years. I had no idea.
The song stayed unfinished for years. Then, in 1993, Gil's older brother Bob died of a heart attack. And suddenly, the unfinished song had somewhere to go. Gil completed it. He recorded it. And in 1995, Go Rest High on That Mountain was released. That history changes everything, because once you know it, the song no longer sounds like a generic funeral. It sounds personal. It sounds like a man trying to make peace with two losses that had stayed inside him. And listen to who helped him. Ricky Skaggs and Patty Loveless contributed background vocals. That means the recording carries not just Gil's grief, but the voices of people who understood what country music had lost. The song became a country classic, and eventually, one of the most commonly performed songs at funerals and memorial services. But its deepest power is that it doesn't try to explain death. It doesn't make grief disappear. It simply gives grief somewhere to stand. Keith Whitley was gone. Gil's brother was gone. And yet the song turned their absence into something people could carry. That's why this belongs at number 1. Not because it was the biggest song. Not because it had the flashiest production, but because it came from a place where music stops being entertainment and becomes remembrance. These weren't just country songs. They were memories set to melody. A first love, a broken marriage, a lonely bar, a mother fighting for freedom.
I had no idea that it would, but I'm grateful that people use it.
A singer remembering someone he couldn't save. The 1990s gave country music some enormous hits, but the greatest ballads did something more important. They made millions of strangers feel less alone. And that may be the real secret of nostalgia. We don't remember these songs simply because they were popular. We remember where we were when they found us. The radio in the kitchen, the long drive home, the wedding, the breakup, the funeral. Person we loved. The person we lost. Years pass. Voices age. Artists disappear from the charts. Some are remembered every day. Others are remembered only when a familiar song suddenly comes through an old speaker. But for those few minutes, they come back. And maybe that's why these ballads still matter. Because the 1990s didn't just give us music. It gave us pieces of people's lives. And every time the music plays, those lives return.